Welcome to another edition of Our City. Residents can visit any of our social media accounts to get any information about upcoming events in our city. Or if you simply have a question or more information is needed, just call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. And for this week's show, I'm pleased to be joined by Miss Sheila Casey, who is the Executive Director of Josephine's Place. I've talked about Josephine's Place on this show numerous times, and Sheila has done a great job now as the Executive Director. Sheila, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Mayor.
So why don't we start first? Talk about your background. How'd you get here? What's in your your repertoire of events?
My repertoire. Well, I'm not an Elizabeth native. I come from Chicago. I've been in New Jersey about 20 years now. I am currently the Executive Director of Josephine's Place. Prior to Josephine's Place, I was working in housing with the Elizabeth Coalition to House the Homeless. But now it's 2 years I've been with Josephine's Place, and it's been a really great 2 years for me.
Now you're only the third Executive Director?
Third, yes.
Yeah, so the other two were Sister
Judy Mertz, our
Right.
founder, our founding director, and then Gail Driscoll was the second director. Yeah.
And they've been there now 20-something years. Is it 25?
22.
22 years,
22
right?
years, yeah.
I still remember when Sister Judy walked into my office. What made you leave Chicago to come to New Jersey? It's not culture shock or anything, is it?
No. Wanderlust, I think. I mean, it's just a bit of the traveling bug. I lived in St. Louis for a short while, a little bit overseas, and then came to the East Coast.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, good. Well, we're glad to have you. And Josephine's Place is a place that Sister Judy helped create because her charity, the Sisters of Charity, wanted a mission to deal with women.
Yes.
And tell us about Josephine's Place, not only how you're dealing with it, but how it evolved based on the stories that people have told you.
Okay. Well, Josephine's Place is, as I said, it's 22 years that we've been here in Elizabeth and on Elizabeth Avenue. The Sisters of Charity of St. Elizabeth took some time to reflect on what the needs were around the state. They looked at 5 different cities and they decided on Elizabeth. And I know that Sister Judy had many conversations with you and with other community leaders to sort of identify what are the specific needs of women who are economically disadvantaged in the city of Elizabeth. So it started in October of 2003. Sister Judy led the organization through its infancy through to just before COVID started, really. Gail saw us through COVID, and Josephine's Place survived, I think, because of her steady leadership. The past 2 years, we've seen some steady growth. The look and feel of the place remains the same, but we're becoming ever more diverse, I think, and more reflective of the population and the city.
So dealing strictly with women, correct? I mean,
Yes.
it's Josephine's Place is a haven for women, and no questions are asked, right? People can just come in and if there's assistance to be granted, you attempt to do it.
That's right. That's right. We offer classes, programs, and workshops that empower women. So we're offering classes in English, computers, job readiness, yoga, gardening. One of our more recent programs that's been successful is our entrepreneurship program. We've paired with Rising Tide Capital and their Community Business Academy, and it's a 3-month-long program, and the women commit to it. And we just had 17 graduates in January, and they are starting a variety of businesses. Right now, we have 24 women enrolled and partaking in the classes, and they'll graduate in June. So,
That's fine. I was not aware of that program.
Yeah.
I mean, I go there a few times a year, but I was not aware of that program. How did this started with you, Sheila, or was this?
Yeah. So this endeavor to take the work of our women's hands and creativity and ideas, I think has always been at the heart of creating economic stability for the women. at Josephine's Place, but we formalized it by pairing with or partnering with Rising Tide Capital. They have a very structured program that takes the women from their ideas, the inception of their ideas, through to their obligations legally, how to promote their business, how to create an online presence, you know, what it would take to fund and make a budget for their business. And now we're seeking mentors in the community to help the women take it to the next level. So helping them with public speaking and how to promote their business with others. And we have a number of mentors that are volunteering with them right now. So they come from financial resources, Federal Credit Union, Union County Savings Bank, Citizens, and these men and women are working closely.
So many of our corporate citizens here in Elizabeth and the surrounding regions have gotten involved.
Yes.
So what does this mean for you personally? I mean, seeing the success of women who, you know, in most cases probably struggled before they walked into the door or did not have direction. Just curious to know, what is your satisfaction out of this?
Well, for me, it's deeply meaningful to see the transformative power of community and mutual support day in and day out. The women do come to us from varied backgrounds at different stages of life. Some are coming with deep traumas. Some are fleeing violence that were in their societies or in their homes. And so we try to meet them where they are and walk alongside them in their journeys and help in any way that we can. If we don't have the service, then there are partners throughout Elizabeth and Union County and the state that they can rely on. New Jersey is one of those places, and Elizabeth particularly, that's very rich in services to help people who are economically challenged.
So Sheila, you've seen the transformation or the impact on some lives of people.
Yeah.
Can you, without naming anybody, can you point to something that on some of these success stories?
Sure. It would be hard to really pin down one.
I know,
there's
of
so
course.
many.
Yeah.
But
Well, give me a conglomerate then. And
Sure. So many of our women are immigrant women, and so their barriers tend to be language, lack of access to education and employment. So they come to the center. They learn English. They're able to secure employment, get promoted. We've had women who've been promoted. We've had women who've gone on to get nursing aid degrees and home health aid certifications, and working at the mall or in the local restaurants or in the bakeries, or just working with their own hands, creating their own businesses, their cottage industry businesses. So they have their burdens and they have their worries, and just like all of us, it's a busy world and we have busy lives, but they're able to come to Josephine's Place and just sort of let that stay on the other side of the door for a little while and take care of
whenever I walk in
themselves.
there, it's so peaceful and calm. There's a serenity about the place just when you walk in. I guess that's because of the leadership of you, Sister Gail. It just transforms you when you walk in that place.
I'm really glad to hear you say that. We hear that almost to a person, that the visitors that come to Josephine's Place. It just exudes a calm and a refuge from a busy life in a busy world.
So Sheila, the achievements of Josephine's Place, you've celebrated some of those recently. You have galas and things. Tell me about some of those achievements, some of the people you've honored for their work with Josephine's Place.
Okay, so we've had the honor of being supported by a wide range of people in the community, corporate support, individual support. Just this last year, we celebrated 21 years in the fall, and we celebrated a family, the Cunningham family, Cunningham sisters. And specifically Maureen Herwood, who she and her husband made a tremendous gift to Josephine's Place, a game-changing gift for us. And this was sort of the culmination of the support they've been giving us over the years. The sisters were very moved to be honored, but really the honor is ours, to be able to work alongside them in creating programs and opportunities and pathways for our women to succeed.
So what's the biggest challenge that women face today? Is there one? No, there's not. I know, but
yeah,
how do you rank? Can you rank them? I mean, it's just,
well, I think, one of the things that a lot of our women are facing, not all, but many of our women are seeking English classes. So
then how do you overcome that barrier?
yeah, so we are a volunteer-driven organization, and our teachers come from different walks of life, journalism, business, all sorts of different backgrounds, and they teach our women how to speak English, how to write, how to read. We have conversation classes that are drop-in. You don't necessarily have to be signed up for that one. You can just step in. Jersey Cares comes out and sends its volunteers, and they're just so welcome to our community. They make it possible for women to get jobs and go back to school and communicate with their children's teachers or their doctors or negotiate in the marketplace. It's really
And
phenomenal.
do you reach out to the city leaders or the business people and the community members to support the mission? Is that one of your functions, or do you have a team that does that? How does that work?
It is one of my functions. I sometimes just get sort of tunnel visioned on my work, but I do like to pick my head up and see what the city leaders are doing, and if there are any ways that their paths can intersect with ours. You're always speaking so highly of Josephine's Place, and we really appreciate that support you've given us. Just speaking our name in the community is worth its weight in gold. The women need to know that there are places for them, that they can connect with other women, and they're not alone.
What's the future?
Oh, the future. Oh, yeah. So,
especially in this crazy times we deal with.
Yeah, we are in challenging times for sure. Josephine's Place wants to maintain its current space, the neighborhood that we're serving by foot traffic, by public transportation, by car. Our women are coming from a variety of places in Elizabeth and surrounding towns and cities. I think eventually we'd like to see ourselves in another place, increase our footprint in Elizabeth. I've eyed some of the neighborhoods that might be a possibility for us, and we're seeking to grow in funding and where it is that we could be helpful beyond Elizabeth Avenue.
Yeah, well, it's space is sometimes limited in Elizabeth. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes in some neighborhoods we're a victim of our own success.
Yeah.
It's a good thing and a bad thing, because an organization like yours may struggle to grow or to move. And I know that challenges are to move at some point, which is one of the goals. How can the audience or anybody watching this show get more information on Josephine's Place? How can they get more involved?
Sure. Josephine's Place is located at 622 Elizabeth Avenue. We are on the internet. Our website is www.josephinesplace.org. Our phone number is 908-436-0099. People are welcome to come in, schedule a time to come in and visit us. I'd love to show our city leaders, our community members, our business leaders, all the good works that are happening at Josephine's Place. They can get involved by volunteering, donating, supporting some of our fundraisers. We have a golf outing coming up on May 12th, the day after Mother's Day.
No, I have tickets to that.
You do, yeah. And we're looking forward to it. It's been a successful year. We have both a morning shotgun and an afternoon shotgun.
I know, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's kept us running. We're keeping up.
That's a
with
lot
it,
of
though.
that's a lot of golfers.
Yeah.
If you have a morning and an afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Josephine's Place is clearly a beacon of hope in our community, and I thank you for all the work that you do there, and wish you well going forward.
Well, thank you very much,
And,
Mayor Bollwage.
When you do things as far as getting out to the public, do you get a response? Is it hopeful that the public's buying into a lot of your messages?
I think so. Yeah. I think so. And we're reaching ever more diverse representations of women. So our women are coming from Southeast Asia. They're coming from North Africa. They're coming from the Dominican Republic and Haiti. They're coming from Central South America and Mexico. And they're coming from right here in Elizabeth. Some of our women are just native to Elizabeth and are connecting with other women, bridging all sorts of differences and diversities. So it's pretty exciting to watch. And,
Well, I thank you for your leadership, and I thank you for all the work you're doing there. It's after 22 years. I remember when Sister Judy first came into my office, and here we are 22 years later, and it's still a great success.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
I want to thank Ms. Sheila Casey for joining us on the show this evening and talking about Josephine's Place and the fine work that they do on Elizabeth Avenue for women of all walks of life who just may need a moment to themselves. Come back next week on another edition of Our City. This is Mayor Chris Bollwage.